what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
Agree to disagree.
Like,
Okay, moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. It's like a cracked out T-bird from Greece.
Yeah,
You know, she's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chick Chat, the spring edition. We're not really sure if we're on track with the months or not, but nonetheless, I'm Mary Margaret.
I'm Jeanette.
Hey,
Yay.
Jeanette. Welcome in. We've had a hard time scheduling this one because spring fever has hit, yet it is not spring.
Yeah,
It's cold outside. It's like spring by date, but it's cold. It's been cold outside. We actually just got done with spring break. Mm-hmm. I went to MTV Cabo. Where did you go?
Did you really?
No.
I was going to say Daytona Beach.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Dancing with Carson Daly or something.
Do they still do that?
I don't know because I don't see MTV a lot.
Right.
But, I mean, that used to be the poo. Like that.
And
was
I'm not at home during the day to know.
True.
what they're doing.
I don't know if they're dancing to Will Smith.
Right. Getting
on
jiggy with it.
the big stage.
Welcome to Miami.
Like across the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. They did used to do that. And play those stupid games. And that's when they had games on MTV though. Like
It's true. Like remote control.
remote control. So they would do the remote control spring break edition.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And Singled Out.
Yes.
That was a big
Carmen
spring break
Electra
one.
and
Yeah.
Jenny McCarthy
Jenny
at one
McCarthy
point.
over Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Any day.
Those were the good days.
So I don't
Wasn't
know
that
if
Chris
this-
Hardwick?
Yeah.
The Walking Dead guy now, right? Like he's like the Ryan Seacrest of
I don't
like
watch
host-
Walking Dead. You know that, right?
I know, but he hosts the Talking Dead show.
Oh,
after.
does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he does a lot of stuff on AMC.
Okay.
And I think he does some other stuff. So like I compare him to Ryan Seacrest where he's got like 10 jobs.
Everything.
But
yes.
so.
Well, what about remote control? Was Jimmy Kimmel on that at one point? Or
Was it Jimmy Adam Carolla?
Adam Carolla, thank
Yes.
you. Adam Carolla was there.
He was the guy who'd come out on that like that bed or something, or he would come out. No, or was he like the co-host?
He was like an Ed McMahon.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Those zany
I don't know
sidekick.
who the host was.
But who was the host of that? And I want to say it was like another Adam remote control MTV host. I'm Googling it on the internet. Ken Ober.
Okay.
And then Colin Quinn.
Okay. Yeah.
Colin Quinn was like a helper on that too. But yeah, I think there were a bunch of people that made their name by being the stupid guys, like that would do the little skits.
Yeah. Yeah.
That came out on the couches and stuff like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which then led to the Man Show.
With Jimmy Kimmel.
Was Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe that's where I was.
And then Adam was with Dr. Drew at one point.
Yes. Weird.
I don't know where he is now.
Don't either.
But yeah, that's when MTV was fun, when they had the dance show and you'd have all the VJs.
I mean, and remember when they started doing the the VJs competitions?
Oh yeah, when
they had a couple people that would win. Jesse, that real skinny Grace guy.
And isn't that where Hillary Burton from One Tree Hill fame? Isn't that where she got her
was
start?
TRL.
TRL. Okay,
she did TRL.
But she didn't win the competition. She just got hired, right?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so. I'm not really sure. Adam Carolla is 53.
Oh,
yeah, and he has a podcast. Hi, podcast friends. Hey, Adam. He's got the Adam Carolla Show.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
He writes books now, apparently, too. And he's married. So,
good things. Good things.
Good for you, Adam
Carson
Carolla.
Daly's on The Voice and NBC.
NBC now.
And does he still have that late night show? Late?
Yes.
Early AM?
It's the music one that plays like really obscure stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not up late.
It's Last Call with Carson Daly is what it's called. Last Call.
Got it.
I've seen it occasionally. Like, I don't sleep very much.
Maybe I saw it once many, many years ago.
Yeah. And it's really bizarre. Like, he maybe interviews somebody, but I don't really think it's ever anybody that I've ever heard of. It's like it's breaking music genres. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Well, happy spring break, MTV.
Yes. Go MTV. We actually know somebody. You and I both know somebody that danced on spring break stage in like Daytona Beach, one of those places.
Like know them personally?
Yeah. And they danced on the MTV stage and like was there for MTV Spring Break.
We do.
Yeah. Used to work upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just told you who it was, right?
Yeah. Completely shocked.
Right? Okay.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, but now you know.
Yeah, now I'm going to go back and watch all the episodes.
Now you know. You have to go back.
With Eric Nies and downtown Julie Brown.
Eric Nies. Wow.
I
forgot about him. You are bringing it back. Downtown Julie Brown still does the serious 80s on 8.
She does,
and
yes.
she calls herself DTJB.
That's too much. That's hard to say.
It's DTJB. And my kids know it too. Like they're like DTJB. I'm like Downtown Julie Brown.
So your kids like that station? Yeah, my daughter likes listening to the 90s stations. She's like,
yes,
what year?
They think they're super
right.
cool about knowing some of this stuff.
She's like, okay, so what grade were you in when this came out? I was like, okay.
My daughter has 2 time references in her life. Neither one of them are good. Like she puts people in the categories of either were you alive for 9/11,
okay,
or were you alive for the Titanic. Like, that's
those are 2 extremes. Wow,
and neither one had really good endings. Like
right.
it's not. I don't know if she's just into that type of stuff. She got super, super into Titanic stuff whenever they studied it in school. But now everything is, did this happen close to the Titanic time? And then we're like, no, it was the Civil War, or whatever. And then it's like, well, I have a friend who's actually on a SWAT team here in Hickory in Catawba County. And we saw him out the other day, like at the grocery store or something. And she was asking me later, like, so he's a policeman. Was he at 9/11? It's just her reference for everything.
Yeah.
And I get it. She's trying to distinguish. I think in her mind, it's just 9/11 was not that long ago.
Right.
And Titanic, even though to us, truly it wasn't that long ago. In the grand scheme of things. But to her, it's forever ago.
Like, my daughter thinks the 80s and 90s are like we think of the 40s and 50s. She's like, well, did you have TV back then? I'm like, how old do you think I am? I had a radio.
Right.
It may not have been as small as yours, but I had one. I had electricity.
Yes.
And we still flipped on the light switch.
That's right. Like we could make stuff at home, like blend it. We didn't have candlelight dinners or anything.
We had ovens. We had stoves.
Microwaves.
We had grocery stores. Right. We even had microwaves. That is not a new thing.
Holy cow. You had grocery stores?
She's like, with the phone. Tell me about the phone.
You're like, okay. Oh, you don't want to hear about the cord.
Right.
You don't want to hear about the cord.
So, yeah. So she thinks that's her frame of reference.
Absolutely.
Like, was your TV black and white? No, it was not. I did have a black and white TV, but not just because I had one.
Right. It was just.
Life was in color.
Yeah. That was it.
She's like, okay.
I still watch shows in color, and my parents even would say, like, this used to be in black and white or whatever. And so that was what it was even
like the
back
Andy Griffith
then.
Stuff,
yeah, even then I was asking my parents, like,
right.
What? You didn't have color?
But see, my daughter will see things like the Andy Griffith show. She'll be like, how old were you when this came out? I'm like, not alive. That really is old.
That's black and white for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that was before.
They literally had to do that. It might have, Mayberry might even be a black and white town in real life.
But yeah, it probably is.
For those of you that aren't familiar, the Andy Griffith Show is based off of a town here in Mount Airy in North Carolina. And so it's very close by and very near and dear to our hearts. How could it not be? But it's based off this town here. Although it's not like that.
Yeah.
We're just telling you that. It's not like it.
Oh, yeah. And I really blow her mind when I'm like, well, that's when Papa and Nene when they were like kids. And she's like,
whoa,
oh my gosh.
My grandparents were kids.
Grandparents?
Yeah. That's like when you see your teacher out. Right. Like at Walmart.
Like, what are you doing?
And you're like, wait.
There's not like a teacher dorm you go to the day.
You're wearing sweatpants?
Right.
What?
You have a family?
Why do you have a baseball hat on? Yeah, like
it was just like the picture frames in the store. You just had one up in your office. Yes. The people weren't real. You guys stay at school.
Yeah,
you sleep there.
I remember I had a art teacher in school who I saw out one time, and she was smoking a cigarette with her husband, and her husband looked incredibly scary to me.
Yeah.
And she mentioned something later in class, like another time, that he's an SBI agent.
Oh.
And so I had this really then vivid imagination about how they were at home.
They're like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. It's like,
and I found out it wasn't really her husband. They were just dating. Right. But I knew that they lived together. And that was like, what?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
A whole bunch of like stuff that I was just like, God, this is amazing.
Teachers
but of course
are
I was
people
like,
too.
you're the coolest teacher ever.
Right.
You know, because of all that stuff was neat. Anyway. So we are quickly approaching Royal D-Day.
Oh, we are.
It's real fast, you know. So are we going to watch? Are you going to watch it? Like, are we going to? How are we going to do this?
Yeah, I mean, how early? What time is it?
I don't know because it's on a weekend, right?
Right.
But is it weekend for us here, or is it?
See, I don't know.
I don't either.
If it's
Gosh,
see, what
time
I'm
change
thinking
is hard.
I don't even know what time the wedding is. I lost my invitation. It got lost in the mail.
Did
I haven't
it?
gotten
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So
let me see here. Royal wedding details. Because I did see the image of the invitation.
I saw the invitation.
Yeah. Nice. Whatever. Let's see. Royal wedding. That's not telling me anything other than they decided they don't want gifts. Did you hear that?
Yeah. But when do you get the royal couple? I'd be all intimidated anyway. A gift card to Target. I mean, blender.
They have a little.
You can get a blender, a pressure cooker.
They don't need anything to roast chicken.
Right.
with.
You get them a roasting pan. Like, here you go.
Yeah. They are getting married on Saturday, May 19th. The ceremony is scheduled for noon local time, but that's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
It'll last about an hour. So 7 a.m. on a Saturday. We could do that.
We did 5 a.m. for on a Friday
for
Will and Kate.
Will and Kate. We sure did. We did like a little party or whatever. But this maybe we just like it's 37 days and 21 hours away. P.S. But a Saturday is good. We can be at home. Maybe we send each other some pictures that we could post up on our page of proof we're watching it.
Do that.
Have a little cocktail in our hand while watching. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
I might even wear my fascinator.
Fascinator, yes. I made one for Kate and Will's.
We all
just cause. So anyway, it was coming up quick on May 19th. So I'm thinking. So I'm not really sure if this is our March or our April show. We fell behind because of issues, but it is April right now.
Yes.
And so the question is, do we wait for our next show until right after the wedding?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So our next show, we should try
wedding
to do
recap
that week after.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to set the date, and we will let all of you know who are listening.
And the baby will be here because we're on baby watch right now.
Oh my gosh, the baby should be here any time,
right?
Because
baby needs to hurry up because Kate needs to get ready for the wedding.
That's what I was going to say. You know that they're not going to let her like have the baby right before the wedding. Like, I mean, no. So yeah, you're right. Baby watch
is officially
priority right now.
It is,
honestly.
Yes.
Have you noticed watching? So this kind of goes into something else I was going to talk about. Megan has been making a little bit of a splash, and I don't hate her for it. I'm just saying, with her fashion and her style,
right,
being very different,
right.
She's
an American girl,
right? She's wearing some less traditional clothing that you would see, potential royals, if you will, out when they're making appearances and stuff. But she has now started putting her hair in this messy bun.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of like a buzz, though, right? You know, people are kind of like, oh my gosh, like nobody's ever done this.
Right,
what?
Like,
a messy bun? What?
She's not going to be queen.
Right. So do you feel like now, though, whenever you see Kate, that she looks so proper now?
Oh, yeah.
She almost looks like she's
so much older than
much older now, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
She's still beautiful. She's lovely. And then she's trimmed her hair a little bit. So it's not as long and like straight. It's got a little bounce to it just below her shoulders, which I think has matured her a little bit as well. But yeah, it's just fascinating to me now to see like her before I thought she looked so young and vibrant and
Well, she's
everything.
got 3 kids now.
Right.
And she is a future queen.
Right. She has to fit that
Right.
role. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
She has to. But for a while there, you saw her in, like, the knee-high boots, going out to a polo game and all
Right,
that stuff,
yeah.
right? And, like, cute sweaters with collars sticking out or whatever. But now it's like, every time I see her, I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, you're like us. You know, you've grown up.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like I said, it's just funny to me to see. It's sort of like when you see those pictures of presidents on their first day, and then they show them on, like, a year later, and they've got
They're
all this gray
gray,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
she's got a lot still on her shoulders to come. She's got little kids at home.
Right.
She's going to be the
Queen one day.
Right, at some point. I mean, at this point, Charles is getting up there in age, too.
He's got to be at least 70, right?
At least.
Because he's got younger siblings, and his mother is in
Her
almost
90s?
100, right?
Yes. So he's Prince Charles, and as you can see, I am tapping in my anything I need to know here. He's 70. Well, no, he'll be 70 in November.
So have you heard that he is trying to make Camilla queen? Remember, she was going to be queen consort?
Consort, right? Which is what she's now. She's a duchess. Is that right?
Countess, maybe?
Countess.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. Duchess of Cornwall.
A duchess. Duchess.
I kind of think it's a duchess, but
So, yeah, I read somewhere a few weeks ago that he was actually trying to change what his mother had done as far as she won't be queen, but
Yeah.
she'll be queen consort.
Yeah.
He was trying to change that so that she could be queen.
That's why Grandma's hanging on so long. Is because she's like, I'm going to wait it out as long as I can because she's trying to avoid that mess.
Is that smart for him
to what?
to change that? I don't know that it is.
Oh, I
think that
absolutely
people
don't think
would
it
be
is.
like,
I think it took enough time for people to be cool with Camilla. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know that are they cool with Camilla?
I don't know that they are, but I think they've gotten to the point where they're like,
accepted it.
okay, the queen. I mean, she's not going anywhere now,
Right.
You know, we have to deal with that. They're already looking forward to Will.
Oh yeah,
Is what they're doing. They're kind of being like, I mean, he's going to be the filler spot for a few years kind of thing. But I think because they all love the queen a lot, you know, she made this rule and they're like, okay, fine. She's not going to really be the queen. She's the king's lady. You know, I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And so I think they're all kind of down with that. But if he tried to change it, if it started being a fuss, I think he'd go down in flames. I think it's ridiculous if he tries to change it. I think they'll be real ticked off. Don't you?
I don't know.
I don't think people.
I think it goes back to about Diana still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
like
with all
and
her,
it's going
and with
against
her,
the queen.
Yeah, and with her kids having babies and her
Yeah.
youngest getting married and them already comparing her and her charities
Yes.
to Princess Diana, I think it just brings back Princess Diana's memory a whole lot right now. And it'd be, I don't know, it'd be weird, I think, for people to be like, that was Diana's spot.
Right.
That's
That's who we all signed on for.
right. Yeah. You gave her to us.
You got,
We
and
expected-
then
yeah.
now she's gone and we
Yeah.
have to deal with your mistress.
Right. And it's just respectful not to, yeah.
So, yeah. And I think if the queen has spoken and made this rule, it's kind of like, don't be doing, especially while she's still alive. Like, I think that's kind of weird. Like,
Well, see, I don't know that he can do it until he becomes king. I think that was the whole thing.
he's just prepping everybody.
Yeah.
He's
like,
"Here's
y'all,
the
I'm going
thing.
to do this. What you think?
Here's what's going to happen when I take office.
Right.
I mean,
like testing the waters. Like, would y'all be cool?
I just already think it's going to be like a really weird day whenever he becomes king. Like, I just have this feeling like that people are just not
They're
on
going to be
board
so
with him.
sad.
I think it's going to be so like, wah, wah. He's just, okay, it's Charles, you know, like whatever. We knew he was going to be there, but he's 70 and he's just kind of here now. It's been a long time since they've had a ruler that is starting when they're older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Elizabeth for
she's all I've ever known. She's been the queen our whole lifetime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, she became queen when she was super young.
Yeah.
So, anywho. So we will be
royals.
seeing lots and lots of stuff to come. Of course, they're getting married at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. Yeah. Invitations have gone out. You can watch from home. I know that it'll be televised, live streamed. I did see on the Today Show the other day, they have some people on site in London. And I'm sure it's because of Baby Watch /
Just stay for the wedding.
Yeah, and prep for the wedding. I mean, because you know how big a deal that wedding was for Will and Kate. I mean,
and we've got an American getting married.
Exactly. The flair behind it was just ridiculous. You know they're having to prep for this stuff already. I mean, it's a month away. So Today Show is on site.
That's the
holding down over there.
That's the spot I want.
Yes.
Send me to London to cover all things royal.
I will do it. Speaking of Today Show, do you watch the Today Show at all?
Sometimes.
So, you know what I'm loving now that Matt Lauer's gone?
What's that?
One is that Matt Lauer's gone. Two is that my boy Craig Melvin's getting some more time. You know Craig
I
Melvin
like Craig.
on there?
Yeah.
Craig and I knew each other in high school. How about them?
What?
Mm-hmm.
He's from this area?
He's from South Carolina. Yep. He was a state and regional officer for Key Club, which is a division of Kiwanis Club, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. It used to be kind of an all-boys club, and I was actually a president of our local high school, Key Club, and got really involved in the state and district level and would go to the conventions and stuff like that, and met Craig and got him. He came to our high school to come, because I'd gotten to know him and he was on a higher level than I was in officers.
Okay.
We'd seen each other at several conventions. We were always in the same district. So our group, you had a group of people that you knew, and we all went to different high schools.
Yeah.
But it was you were sort of pen pal buddies at that point. You know, you knew each other that well. And I mean, we saw each other for a good 3 years, several times during those years.
Yeah.
And so we would actually go to, speak to other Key Clubs, as officers on a district level. And I had Craig come to my high school and speak and stuff. So I have my picture with him in the paper and everything.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but then you kind of just all kept up a little while, after high school too, because then we all went on to different schools and stuff.
Yeah.
He went to Wofford.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but now he's getting all kinds of loving on the Today Show.
I like him on there.
I do too. I was kind of wanting him to just be the official Matt Lauer replacement.
I'm good with Hoda.
I'm okay with Hoda.
I love Hoda.
No, I don't love her.
Oh, I love Hoda.
I don't. Mm-mm.
No?
No, I don't love Hoda. I love Hoda in the 9 o'clock hour.
With Kathy Lee?
Yes. But I don't love Hoda doing both. I think one or the other. Mm-hmm. But it's a little too much when it's both of them, because I feel like she has to be one person for one and another person for the other, and that bothers me a little bit. But I don't know. I like the
7 o'clock
dynamic
hour is a bit of a promotion for her.
It is, which is why then fine, step away from Kathy Lee.
But see, I wonder if the discussion was, can she step away from Kathy Lee? Because Kathy Lee and Hoda have become this thing.
Absolutely.
Who do you replace?
I know.
Who do you replace her with?
I know. I don't know. But I also selfishly I like the dynamic of a male and female newscast whenever there's when they're at the table.
I like more than two people. I like the way they do
put all
it
four up there.
I like the way Good Morning America does it, where Robin and George are kind of the main people there.
Yep.
But then they have I'm not loving him, but Michael Strahan, and then they have Laura Spencer, or whatever, is that her name?
Lara Spencer.
Lara Spencer. Mm-hmm. And then they have other people, and they interact. I mean, they do interact with Al on the Today Show, but I just kind of like that whole. There's a news table.
They've started bringing in Craig more on some of those things, and then Carson comes in every once in a while.
I used to love Willie on there.
Oh my gosh, I love Willie.
Willie would have been great at 7.
Well, and I thought he was going to be a good option because he does the Saturday ones and stuff. So I kind of thought he'd be a natural step in because he was the fill-in for Matt a lot of times.
Yeah. But he's on MSNBC Morning Joe.
Yeah.
He's got kind of a big part on that.
Yes. And, and that's why they bring in Craig and stuff too, because he's got his little MSNBC news show too. And Carson does all the entertainment stuff and everything too. And then they'll bring in, whenever Al's not there, Dylan always sits at
yeah.
the table and stuff.
I
So,
like
you
Dylan.
know, I do like when they include a lot of people, but sometimes I feel it's like girl heavy. I just wish they had like,
Yeah, I
like
get it.
the main roles were a male, female.
I get it.
So anyway, do love me some Craig Melvin though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had big old thick glasses whenever we were younger.
Oh.
Just sharing that right now. So speaking of TV, I thought the best way that we could go about this episode is that I feel because the new season has started on TV.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's back from winter break. Really.
Yeah.
So we have a new seasons upon us. I'm going to tell you what's in my DVR,
Okay.
and we're going to discuss.
All right.
Okay. And when I say DVR, I mean I don't have DVR. I have now officially changed my TV styles again.
Oh.
I now am full streaming YouTube TV.
Okay.
It's brilliant. I love it. It records everything I want. I can watch it anytime. It's live television. I have like a gazillion channels, and it's fantastic. And I have cut the cable cord.
Oh.
See ya. Goodbye. Nothing there. Between this, it's fabulous. It's really good. So that's my little personal plug right there for YouTube TV. You can find it at tv.youtube.com. All right. So on my, quote, scheduled recordings, I'm going to name some things off. Tell me if you've watched it. Tell me if you have any opinions on it. Some of them I have on here because I'm still giving them just a little bit of more time. Some of them I'm not completely sold on yet.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Alex Inc.
Okay,
This is the
yeah.
new Zach Braff show.
I've seen one episode, maybe two.
Yes, and main reason being it is based off a true story, which I think is cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is. It is based off a true story of a gentleman who basically quit his job and then started a podcast network.
Okay.
Little near and dear to my heart. So I have given it a couple of episodes. It's very cheeky / serious. Like there's the business side of it where he's basically stressing out because he's got to do this for his family. He doesn't know what, he just quit his job and he's lost and he's got this idea, but nobody's buying into it. You know, that I can relate to, but also that's emotional. But on the other hand, it's Zach Braff.
Right.
And he's still a little Scrubs corny, you know? But, I mean, he kind of hit the right audience with Scrubs, so maybe some of these people will be carried over to Alex Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I would say watch it if it's there. Let me see here. I have For the People.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I'm liking For the People.
Okay.
This is a new legal
Is it Shonda Rhimes?
Shonda-ish. I don't know if it's Shonda or not, but it's Shonda-ish for show.
Okay.
It is about 6 people that have been recently assigned to either the United States, like prosecutors or defenders.
Okay.
Okay.
Recent law school grads.
Yeah, but I think they've been in other places before this. They've worked their way up to the United States level. Like this is
it's the U.S. level. Okay.
Yes, this is the U.S. level. And so, but it was kind of like, but they're all still young. You know, I mean,
Okay.
they're still very green at it. And they've been placed in one or the other. And so you go between the 2 offices. And there's like 3 at one place and 3 in the other. And
And
they
they're all
know
very
each other.
attractive.
Right. Yes, of course. They know each other.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, they all deal with their own personal issues and stuff. But their personal issues carries on throughout the series, it seems like. But there's cases that are one episode. You know, like each episode has kind of a new case that somebody has to deal with.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going up against each other in like everything.
Right.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And but the way it's shot, the way the storylines are going, it's a little mix of scandal with like the legal jargon and stuff like that and the kind of political tone behind it. But it's got that Grey's Anatomy romance / couple of lighthearted, like funny lines and stuff, you know, silliness to it. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's an easy kind of one to watch. I don't know if it's going to be one of those that I'm like, oh my God, I've got to watch the next episode because I got to find out what happens. Like, hasn't been like that yet. It's been very one and done. You can watch one episode and then catch another one later. So be it. Good Girls. Have you seen this?
I've seen 3 episodes. I think I'm 3 episodes behind.
Okay, so this is Good Girls is the new NBC comedy / I guess you call it comedy. Dramedy, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 girls, which are the girl from Mad Men, redhead, big
Jessica
boobs.
Chastain?
No, but looks like her. It's not Jessica Chastain.
It's not Jessica Chastain.
No.
What is her name?
I will find out in a minute. And then the girl from, that girl.
That girl.
The girl that played the daughter in Parenthood.
Yeah.
She's real young, and she also played, I think she played the little girl that cried in Hope Floats.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Tore me up. And then Retta.
Yeah.
The 3 of these ladies, they are, 2 of them are sisters, and then that's their best friend. And the 3 of them are just each in their own way having struggles in their life. Financially, with their partners, with, anything, it has become overbearing, and they can't, it's like they're drowning, right?
Right.
And one of them jokes and says something about, she works at a grocery store, and she was like, yeah, well, I mean, there's all this money in the safe back there. I've seen it before, so we could just rob it, And they kind of laugh it off and forget it, but then the next scene you see is them robbing the store. And they did it once, and they were just like, wow, this is empowering. We didn't get caught. We've got all this money. Okay, thanks, we're done. Everybody feels better now.
Yeah.
And turns out that they actually stole. The reason there was so much money in a grocery store, like cash money, was because a money laundering service was being run through there, and they stole this money from like a gang, if you will. And now they're involved with this gang, and they have become addicts to it almost. They can't stop.
Can I just tell you that I love the guy who plays the gang leader? Is that odd?
No, I do as well. He's
got like this cool demeanor to him. Just this kind of like he's not scary. He's scary,
yes,
but he's not like intimidating scary.
Right?
Like, you want to you can go to the line with him, and then he'll tell you you're at the line.
Yeah,
back off, and you're like, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're pushing their level with them right now. It's kind of funny. Like in one of the most recent episodes I saw, I don't know if I'm behind or not, but one of the episodes I saw, he has his boys with him putting gun to their head about something.
Okay.
And he's kind of serious, but in his very cool tone, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But it's scary to them.
It would be scary to me at that point too.
Right. And they get out of it, it's all done or whatever, and they work through it. And then at the end, she kind of turns and looks to him, the redhead turns and looks to him and basically says, do not ever put a gun to my head ever again. And he kind of looks at her like, oh, okay. She's talking to him the way that he's talking to her. And
I feel like there's a little bit of chemistry.
I do too. I totally feel that every time that they're talking.
It would be such a weird...
It would.
It would not happen, but I'm loving the chemistry.
No, I kind of like it,
I can
too.
see it happening, but not like a dating happening.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now, Michael
She's
Lillard...
not going to turn out to be like the doctor on Sons of Anarchy who leaves her job and becomes a biker chick.
Right.
That's
she
not
is
happening.
not, because she has these kids at
she
home.
has babies.
She has her ex-husband, not ex-husband yet, but they are going through something.
Well, that's
it's Michael Lillard, who has played in the Scream movies.
That's what I always remember him from.
And I think of him as Shaggy on the Scooby-Doo live movies, too.
Yeah.
But he's aged. He's playing an adult father figure. He runs a used car lot. He's kind of going through some really sketchy stuff himself. Mm-hmm. He's not a very good person, I think. But
this cemented it for me, like that he's not a good person.
Yes, I agree. I don't think he's a good person, but he's also torn because he is. I mean, he just
wants his family.
Wants
back.
to be his family, with his family, and he realizes stuff he's done is wrong, but he's really in the middle of what to do.
And he's going about it. He just made a mistake, and it has to.
Yeah, he's real bad. He's real bad. But in this recent episode, he actually finds out some more about their side deal that's going on with the...
He does?
He does. And he gets pretty mad. And at one point, he looks at his, quote, wife, and he's like, come sit down. and tell me about this. And she's like, I don't have to. And he's like, no, come sit down and talk about this with me. And she's like, don't tell me what to do. And he screams. He's like, sit down. And he points a finger, and she looks at him almost like that turned her on. You know?
She's used to the other
and
guy.
then she went and sat down.
Yeah.
You know, but you could tell, I think it was the first time she saw, like, okay, well, this dude's actually really serious about something for once in his life.
He's not a goofball.
Right, because he's super corny,
Oh, yeah.
right? And just, I feel like he's that way in real life.
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I would be disappointed if he wasn't and I met him. Like,
Yeah.
really?
The play between the three ladies is really funny. Yeah. I think they have a really nice chemistry, and it's interesting. I don't know how long they can have this go on, though. Yes. Like, how long is this show going to last?
Right.
I mean, this isn't like a 13-seasoner. I don't think. Unless, like, one season's in Canada, one season's in Mexico.
Unless they get more heavily involved.
Well, I guess. But I don't know. It seems like they're so... I don't know. They're so sketchy right now about it that they're really very nervous, and
I'd be terrible.
I feel like I would be really bad.
Like, no,
yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. All right, moving on. Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry.
I've seen a couple episodes. I really just never know when it comes on, but it seems fascinating to me.
Yeah, he's in a new season right now,
Okay.
and I'm recently turned to him. I had a friend, a mutual friend of ours. She's actually been on Chick Chat. Basically was like, you don't watch him? And I'm like, no. And she's like, you have to start. So I put him down to record just so I could have some there to watch wherever. It is fascinating.
It's fascinating. The episodes I've seen are fascinating.
Holy cow.
Like, there's times when I've seen these television psychics over the years.
Yes.
And sometimes you're like, I don't know, maybe,
right?
You know,
like maybe if you hint around enough to something, then it kind of starts to come out,
right?
And then you put two and two together.
But I feel
you might just be a little intuitive,
right? Or I don't know, maybe read up on these people,
right? It's Wikipedia these days,
right? So, but there's something about him where I'm like, part of me is like, oh my gosh, no, he doesn't really ask questions. He just talks.
Yeah. And a lot of times he's mumbling to himself while he's scribbling.
He's scribbling.
He
and he kind of says, who are you hoping to see?
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not.
And he'll start scribbling, and then he'll be talking to himself, and you hear him say something like, okay, mom's side, no. Yeah, okay, but, that's funny. I've got two ladies coming in, and he's telling himself this, but the people across from him hear him, and they're like, what? Oh my God, yes, oh my God. Like he's legit.
The one episode I saw, he was there for a reading for, I forget which celebrity it was, but he was there for a reading for her. I think it was a country music star.
Okay.
And he was doing her reading, but then he's like, I don't think the person I'm talking here is for you. And it turned out to be like her best friend.
Yes. Who was in the other room.
Who was in the other room.
Yes.
And he's like, this woman is saying that this is what happened to her and blah, blah, blah. And the lady comes out, she's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I've actually seen that happen a couple times on that show. He's like, he was talking to a YouTube star the other day.
Yeah.
And the YouTube star's mom was watching in the back room. And this poor kid, Tyler's like, so, I'm getting this, there's a male figure in it, and, he appears to be in the military because I'm getting the symbols for the military. He's like, is that anybody that would, be a male fatherly figure in the military? And this poor guy's like, no, I don't, I don't know anybody. And they cut to the mom who's in the back, and she's like holding up a picture of her dad in a uniform, military uniform. And she's like, it's his grandfather, it's my dad. And turns out she had been estranged from her dad for all these years. Like, he had passed away. He had become an alcoholic whenever she was younger, left his family. Like, she held all this resentment, but then they found each other. And anyway, he was coming through for her. And here this YouTube kid was just like, I don't I don't know, but can we just call my mom out here? You know, and the mom came out and was like, I'm holding his picture right here.
Yeah. And it, like, I think it was Jana. I want to say her name was Jana, but
Jana Kramer.
Yeah. And she, like, even that whole time he was like, I'm sorry, I know we were here for you, but like, she's like, no, it's fine. Like, he never actually read anything for her.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to be like, is it set up? But I don't know.
And I saw Bobby Brown's. Whitney didn't come through.
Oh, I didn't think Whitney would come through.
No, Whitney didn't come through for him. And I love that Tyler doesn't know who he's reading before he gets there.
Right.
It's part of his, like, process.
So that you can't think
that's right.
He looked him up.
Right, but he also just doesn't watch a lot of TV. He doesn't do a lot of that because he's got so much schmiff going on. You know, he's like, he said he finds everything very distracting. And so he'll walk in and see Tom Cruise and be like, hi, I'm Tyler, you know, and the guy's like, I'm Tom. And they go sit down. And a lot of celebrities, like, love that he doesn't know who he is. And so it's pretty funny, like, because he'll be like, they looked really nice and they were very friendly. I didn't know who they were, but they seemed very nice. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't know these people? But it's really cool to watch.
His show is fascinating.
It's super fascinating. Rick Fox was on there recently. Yeah. And Rick didn't really even have somebody coming through. Instead, Tyler was getting vibes about something that was going to happen. Yeah, which really spooked me out. Basically, Tyler was like, you know, he's like, I have to tell you, like, something's like, you know, somebody's going to die within 8 months. And Rick was like, okay. And he was like, and it has to do with the brain not functioning because of something with the heart, like a clot or whatever. And Rick starts crying and he was like, well, you know, my dad's got Alzheimer's and he's had like some heart problems recently or something. I mean, it was all this stuff. He knew his dad was pretty sick. Yeah. And he said they've kind of been expecting it, but Tyler was like, it's going to happen within 8 months. And then
I don't want to know that stuff.
I'm telling you. And I think they have to like sign off on that, obviously, like find out if you want to know things like that in advance. And then also, Rick was like asking about his son and his son's future success or not, because he feels like his son's in his shadow all the time. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, is my son ever going to get out of my shadow? And so Tyler like starts looking into his son and everything. It was just really fascinating. Like, it can go either way. Mm-hmm. You know, Tori Spelling, I saw hers and she had her dad's typewriter there and her dad didn't come in. And I was like, oh my God, that breaks my heart. Oh. Yeah. But she was like, I'm okay with that. You know, she's like, because, you know, she's like, I get little symbols here and there. She's like, but Tyler said it was usually because like, there's really not much they had to say. Like, everything was good.
You said everything.
Yeah, everything was good before they left and they're at peace.
Don't you just want to come say, hey, what's up, though?
I know. Can't you be like,
what's up?
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm here. It's all good. Yeah, but I love that show. Anybody that needs just nice little. Some of it sounds like it would be sad, but man, it knocks some of these celebrities like off a high horse real quick. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, even if they don't act like that, we as outsiders still see that. I feel like. So anyway, it's very good. Totally watch that. Life Sentence. Have you heard of this?
That is.
Yeah, it is the new. I don't even know what show it's on. It's on maybe Freeform. Okay. Maybe something like that. Okay. FX, Freeform, whatever. And it is Lucy Hale, who was in Pretty Little Liars. Yes. And the show is basically that she, as a child, got cancer and was living with it and pretty much basically said, you know, I'm just going to do anything and everything I can. You know, so her parents like sent her to Paris. She wanted to go to school over there. She wanted to fall in love in Paris. She met a boy in Paris. They immediately get married. They like have sex every night by candlelight because she never knows when it's going to be their last one. Okay. And like they eat whatever they want. They do. I mean, you know, it's just she's just living straight up full life. And she goes for like a annual checkup or whatever to find out stuff and finds out she's been cured. Like she has no more cancer. Right. And then so now she goes back and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't have cancer. It's amazing. And then everybody is so excited, but they all like,
but you're married.
Well, they're like, but wait a minute. Turns out her parents had kind of been putting on like a fake front of their marriage to not upset her. So they end up having a really hard time. So they kind of come out and say like, actually, we don't want to be married. You know, she's got a brother and a sister who have always kind of been like her best friends and her rocks and all this stuff. And comes to find out like her brother like hooks up with soccer moms while selling them pills.
Oh, geez.
You know, and
her world is like just done like a complete
everything. Yes. The people from the government come to her house to like investigate her marriage because his green card's about up and stuff. Yeah, it's like all, and then she finds out like she like doesn't know him that well, you know, and that they don't have to like have sex every night by candlelight, you know. And so the concept's pretty funny actually, because everybody was putting on this happy face for her. And now they don't have to. And now she's like, wait a minute. Like,
can we get back to that?
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So it's weird. Yeah. But I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of interesting to follow. Okay. Because and it's funny. It's not, it's like a comedy, but it's just funny when you
serious undertones.
It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. So anyway, it's called Life Sentence. Lucy Hale. It's pretty good. Rise. Have you watched it?
I watched the first episode and I always mean to watch it, so I'm going to have to go back. Yeah. You know, I like musicals.
Yeah, but you know what?
No.
Not a lot of music in this one.
Oh.
I'm really, really kind of disappointed in
Glee.
it. 'Tis not. No. It is Glee meets Friday Night Lights.
Oh.
Okay. But I'm talking like a tiny bit of Glee, a lot of Friday Night Lights.
I like both of those.
I love Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows ever. But this is Friday Night Lights about a musical. Okay. So there is no other singing in the episode other than when they are practicing for the musical, which means it's practice and you get like 2 sentences of singing and then they're like, cut, you know, like try this again. And they're doing Spring Awakening in high school. So all you hear is that.
It's inappropriate.
That song. I mean, not that song, but that whole soundtrack is what they're singing. So there's never it's not like theme nights like Glee was, you know?
At least that premise of a show can go on.
It could.
If it's successful.
Absolutely.
If it's successful.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many musicals you can do.
Yes.
You can always have a new class coming in and introduce the characters when they're freshmen and sophomores or whatever.
Right. Well, and it's the standard, you know, we've got a football player who can sing, but the football coach doesn't want him to. But, you know, this one just adds on those thick layers of drama. Almost too much for me.
Although I will say, I mean, I know Glee was a comedy, but that stuff is like accurate because, you know, just in my experience from high school, there were people who played sports and did drama.
Yeah.
But sometimes you did have to make a choice because practices were typically at the same time.
Right.
They're after school.
Right.
And
yeah.
And even for people like, you know, not just football, but I'm talking like track and baseball, softball, basketball, anything. Like I even struggle. Like, I don't know if I can try out because I've got this, and this, and then I won't be able to go, but I really want to do this. You know, it's kind of.
Well, some of this though, I think sometimes they dramatize it a little too much. Like it's all a very dark show. Like nothing's very well lit.
I know. I was going to say that. I was going to like, they live in a very gray town.
Yes, it's a very gray town. It's always nighttime. You know, the guy who's the drama teacher, he's dealing with a son who he thinks is alcoholic. The coach of the football team is causing a big fuss over his star player going to the play, but yet he is himself having an affair with the mom of the new girl who's joined the play that took over the stars thing, who happens to be the football coach's daughter.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, okay, like just let us hear you singing a little bit. You know,
just break out in song and dance like they did on Glee.
Yeah, and they just don't. So this last episode took me 3 different times of sitting down to get through it. Just because I would be like, okay. I want to watch something else right now. And I go back to it another time. I finally finished it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'll probably keep watching, but it's just right now I'm like, and there's like a kid sleeping in the balcony because he runs the lights up there, but he, now he's gone home with the theater teacher.
Yeah.
There's just a little too much. Like, I'm kind of like, just slow down. You've only had like 3 episodes.
Just in case we don't make it to like 10 episodes, we're going to tell you everything right now.
It's gotten a little much, a little fast. So I was like, okay, and whatever, but I'll give it a little bit more time. Next, obviously, I still have Riverdale on there.
I have not even watched the 2nd season.
Well,
I got to get there.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I dig it. I still like it. But yeah, it is. My favorite parts about it are when they use their funny little cartoon language, when they talk about going to Marmies instead of Barneys, or to using their Panera. No, how did they say it? American Express or something like that card, and it's silly little stuff, but I still watch it. I'm not caught up on it right now, but, it's really dark. So, you want to get some like weird teenage follow whodunit show. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's very modern Nancy Drew. Okay. Next on my list is Roseanne. Have you watched the reboot?
I have. Just haven't seen yesterday's episode. But
I have not either. What do you think?
It's going to take me a while to get back into it, just because I've got to get used to them being older with different issues.
Absolutely. Yes. I have to say, though, I'm very surprisingly pleased.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I didn't watch it like this was crap, but.
Right. And, they've got really good ratings. They had a lot of good reviews come out of it because, oh my gosh, what's her name? The girl that plays Darlene.
Sarah Gilbert,
thank you, is an actual producer of it.
Right.
And so, I've heard her speak about it, saying that, it's not a political show. They're just talking about political issues in there because that's what Americans and their households are talking about these days.
Right.
Which is true.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you voted for or who you didn't vote for. Everybody's talking about it because it's like constantly shoved in our face.
Yeah.
President's this, would have been presidents that, whatever. And I think they're putting it out there pretty true, if you will.
I just hope it's not the whole season. I'm fine with an episode or two, but then let's move past it.
Yeah, she said that, or from what I heard, was that, there will be little jabs here and there, or whatever she said, but obviously they're already introducing some other topics that will be the hot topics, if you will. I think they did a great job on casting the kids. As you know, I love Shameless on HBO. Showtime, excuse me. And the girl from Shameless actually plays Darlene's daughter.
I thought that was her, but is she still on Shameless?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah. Okay. They're in like hiatus right now.
Okay.
So
I think Dan has had the best one-liner so far.
I think Dan's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he's my favorite on the show right
now. Absolutely. He's my favorite right now. But yeah, they all have kind of neat little storylines of them coming back, Becky, poor sweet Becky, like it's OG Becky.
Yeah.
Original Becky, but she's trying to get pregnant to be the surrogate for
replacement Becky,
which so kind of funny.
My thing is, and I love Becky. I actually prefer when it was originally on. I was like, this new Becky is weird.
Yeah,
like it's just they look so different.
Yeah, and she was a little.
But I came to love her, and I loved her on Scrubs, and I've loved her, the actress, like just the way she acts.
Yes.
So to me, like my preference would have been to have replacement Jackie.
I know
because
Becky.
I think replacement Becky, because I just think original Becky is such an over actress. She overacts so much, and it drives me bananas. Like I can't stand the scenes with her because she's.
I think that original Becky is back in the original airings. I thought original Becky was pretty perfect for it because she was that just perfect mixture of really dumb.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, to where like when she'd say something, you were just like, oh. Sweet thing,
bless
bless your heart. Yeah. because she was kind of dopey about stuff, but yet she was cute and she was a little more popular and all that stuff. But they played that just right.
Yeah, when she was younger.
And then, of course, she married Mark and all that stuff, right? So, and of course, Mark, as we know, was not the sharpest tool in the shed in the episodes.
Yeah.
So, now having her be like, she's a waitress who's trying to, she's in her 40s and she thinks she can be a surrogate for somebody. And, she really has these, quote, issues that Darlene is quick to call her out on. Like, these are not problems. Like, your life is ridiculous right now. But it's funny, she still plays that dopey character, which I think she can pull off.
Yeah, and I think we may be leading up to an episode of her breaking down.
I completely
because they
agree.
have not addressed Mark's death. They've mentioned it.
His picture is on the back counter behind the couch.
Right, but they have not said anything.
For any of you listening that don't know, the guy that played Mark actually killed himself.
Oh, okay, so I didn't know that.
I think it was kill himself versus like maybe it may have been accidental like OD, but it was something along that lines. Not long after the series actually finished.
Okay.
He just had some real issues from what I understand. So he died in real life. And then, so now with this reboot, I heard they weren't really going to address it.
Okay.
Yes, but that it would not be like he didn't exist, So his picture is actually on the table, the console table behind the famous couch.
Well, Darlene's son's name is Mark.
And Darlene's son's name is Mark. Exactly.
And I was trying to figure out
they're
that
giving them little throwbacks to that.
But that's not Mark's son, right?
No. And they haven't really said who the daddy is.
But isn't Harris, Mark's brother?
Yes,
was married to Darlene,
which was the
Jared Gadalecki.
Yes,
whatever his character's name was. I don't remember.
David. So they were getting married. Remember when Dan had the heart attack, right?
Who?
Darlene and David.
Okay.
Back in the day.
All right.
I think so.
Okay.
And I thought towards the end of the regular seasons, didn't she get pregnant?
I can't remember.
So I'm thinking Harris, the girl.
Well, Harris was born on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, she was...
That's David's.
We don't know for sure, but you would assume that Mark is his too?
I would think so because
his name Mark,
because of his name is Mark, and she married the brother.
But David has not been brought up either.
But for some reason, and I may have just been making this up, I thought Darlene and Mark had a thing for quick.
I don't know. Interesting. I do know that David appears on this reboot.
Okay.
So that end will be addressed.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. Now they did say that Becky lost her husband.
Yeah.
But they didn't say Mark, and they didn't say how.
So if that happened before Mark on the show, the kid Mark was born, I can understand. Okay.
Right.
Because I just don't see them giving him Mark's name if Mark was alive when he was.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I think
they're all still funny.
They
I
are.
love Jackie.
She's hilarious.
Yeah,
she kind of jumped right back in that role. I do love Dan's liners. Like, they are just great. But I do think it's going to get stronger and stronger just because, this is still new to them again, too, like being back in that spotlight. And
I heard it's already gotten picked up for season 2.
It has. And I love that they do it in front of a live audience.
Yes.
Like, that always makes it seem better to me. And I can excuse a little bit of stuff sometimes, because there's only so many takes they're going to do, right? Yeah. So I enjoy it. I encourage someone to watch it. It's fine.
Hi, I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
And we're the co-hosts of Foot Candle Films, a movie review and film discussion show here on themesh.tv.
Each episode, we talk about some new movies, cover some film news, and have some recommendations.
And trust us, we're just as likely to talk about the latest Jim Jarmusch film as we are the newest Transformers installment.
Hold on, don't get too crazy.
Okay, maybe not that bad. But you can find our show and all our episodes on themesh.tv. Plus, you can subscribe to get new episodes delivered right to your computer or mobile device.
We'll see you in the ticket line.
Let's see, some other stuff. I have Saturday Night Live on there just because I like to go back and find sketches. But that does bring me to my hot topic, Scandal.
Okay.
Have you caught up on Scandal?
Yes.
Okay. Scandal now has 2 episodes left.
Yes.
After tomorrow night, it will be 1 episode left.
Yes.
And I think they are going hard right now. Like there's a lot going on, and you are officially caught up.
Yes.
Okay. So some things are changing. Because as of a couple episodes, you and I talked about Scandal a while back, and we were a little ticked off at Olivia Pope.
Yeah, I'm not ticked off at her anymore.
I'm not either.
I'm ticked off at Jake.
I'm totally mad at Jake, who I used
Olivia
to
and I
be
made
major.
up.
Right. I
We were
used
like,
to be
okay.
major team Jake.
Oh, yeah.
I was super team Jake.
Hoping for them to get together and go back and live
To
in
the
sun.
island, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I was straight up team Jake and Olivia, and I was fine with it.
And then Cyrus.
And Cyrus Bean, who, as an actor, I think is brilliant in this.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is creepy to the point of like gives you the chills when he's talking about stuff because he just is so good at how he portrays this.
Right.
I mean, he's perfect for this role.
Yes.
I was a little mad at Quinn for a while because I was like,
yeah.
quit being a baby.
Right.
Like,
The same way I was mad at Red
absolutely.
a couple seasons ago.
So, a couple seasons when she went over to the
oh
White
my
House.
gosh, just get over yourself.
Yes. So I really like how it's wrapping up right now, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give Quinn a pass because she was kidnapped
she was.
on her
She
wedding
was.
day.
I get
and
that.
held under duress
Yes.
and thought she was going to die.
Yes.
So I get her being a little ticked off like, you were going to kill me.
Of course.
I'll give you, okay. She gets a little bit of a pass.
A little
with
bit
that.
of a pass, but Quinn's always kind of been
She
a little.
has. But you think about it, they've done a lot to Quinn.
They have.
And
Quinn puts herself in that situation.
She's been tortured.
Quinn put herself in B613. Like, she asked to be in there. She
Right.
wanted to be a part of
But
this.
they
She
kind
thought
of
she was that
forced
cool.
her into that life by the way they got her in the first place. Of
course.
Changing her name.
Yeah.
Killing
Yeah.
her fiance.
Yeah.
She just wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. She was like volunteer or something.
And then what's his name got her in the bar and talked to her about being a gladiator.
Be a gladiator. We
Yeah.
wear the white hats.
We wear white hats. So
Gladiator in a suit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have loved these last couple episodes. I'm very Team Melly right now.
Mm-hmm. I never thought I'd say that.
I never thought I would be that way.
I'm
but
wondering
I'm
where
kind
Papa
of.
Pope is, though.
I know. Haven't seen him a lot lately.
Not since Quinn.
He's just hanging out with his dinosaurs. That's all he wanted. Was
he
his bones
babysitting?
back. Maybe.
Okay.
He's super fun with that
Is he,
baby.
is he the godbaby?
He was
Godfather?
super cute with that baby,
He
though.
was super cute. At least
And-
Quinn knows the baby's safe with him.
Absolutely. Team Melly for sure right now because I think she's finally realizing, like, in this most recent episode, and I'm sorry if these are spoiler alerts, but in this most recent episode, it was clear that she's coming back to Olivia in the fact that Olivia truly was. Now, Olivia, I will admit, may not have always done it the right way,
Yeah.
but she always had Melly's back.
Yes.
With when it came to getting the presidency and
Right.
running that campaign. She did what she had to do. Now, some of the stuff kind of illegal. Some of the stuff
Kind of.
Yeah. Some stuff not that smart.
Yeah.
But Olivia pulled it off. But it was always for Melly though.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't for herself. I mean, I think she knew she was a package deal with Melly. Then if she got her to the White House that she would be in there too.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it was truly for Melly because she wanted a woman in the White House. She knew that she didn't want Cyrus, or anybody else being the president.
Right.
And so I'm glad that Melly's maybe seeing that now. But I think, and I'm super glad that Melly is now on to Jake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
figuring him out. I texted you actually the other night after I had watched it and was like, you have to watch it because Melly gives this little speech in the Oval Office while she's drinking her hooch. That about where she's realized that Jake can see her in the Oval by a camera directly above her. So she gives this little speech where she's talking to herself, but then you realize that she's talking to the camera.
Yeah.
And she knows that Jake's watching her. And she says some stuff, which I thought was great because she carried a scene by herself, which is really hard to do. To pretend you're talking to somebody, but you're not really talking to them, and then have that emotion with it. And she's got that great attitude, Spitfire attitude at the end. But of course, in the show, I'm afraid now it will come back to bite her in the ass because she has officially ticked off Jake. And Jake has now gone and done some really bad stuff.
But we've always got Huck. My fallback is always
Huck.
we've got Huck.
Sweet
And he
Huck.
is crazy, but he's so lovable.
He is. He just loves Liv.
Oh my gosh, he loves Liv so much.
He loves Liv. He loves Quinn.
Oh, I think he might love Quinn more than he loves
I
Olivia.
agree. And he's protective of them, but yet he tries to tell them, like, don't make me do this.
Please
like,
don't make me kill somebody.
I don't want to kill anybody else today, Liv.
I've been killed in 6 months.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't need it.
He is a sweet, sweet guy, but I like Charlie now.
You're right.
I didn't think I was going to like Charlie at the beginning
Love
because I'm
Charlie.
like, come on, like this guy's just a little too much. But I think Charlie's great,
And I love that Charlie and Huck are friends.
are buddies, and they're Charlie is loyal and he loves Quinn and he loves his job. And I mean, granted, his job is not a good job, but he tries. Like he came onto this side to use it for good, if you will. But he's locked up in a cell and beaten to bloody pieces right now. But he's not squealing on anything because he's like, I can't. Been framed. Gosh, it's 2 more episodes. I can't believe it's done. I have enjoyed it. Scandal's a really, really good show for anyone who hasn't watched it. I'm sure it won't be long before the entire thing's on Netflix. And that you could binge the whole thing. But a lot of it gets intense. There's blood. You get to see there's a lot of killing.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. So, Scandal, the final season. We'll have to be wrapping that up soon, too. All right. Southern Charm is back on Bravo.
I just need Craig to pick a job.
Oh, sweet Craig. He's a really good sewer.
But when did he become a caterer and a cook?
He didn't, clearly.
Can I tell you that I love Shep's friend? I don't know. I forget what his name is.
Which one?
The one that joined this cast last season. Is it? Oh, it's the guy.
Austin.
Austin.
Oh my gosh, I love Austin.
He was like, you really don't know.
Yeah, I love Austin.
He cracks me up.
So, who's your favorite on the whole show?
Oh, Cameron.
Cameron, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Cameron. She's a little, like, sugary to me
I liked her on
sometimes.
MTV Real World, though.
I did, too, which is why I was totally on board with that. Favorite guy?
Well, now that Austin's there,
yeah.
it's Austin. It used to be Shep.
Yeah, and,
I love Cameron and Shep's friendship.
I do, too. Did you watch Relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering if she's going to make an appearance. Are they done?
Dunzo.
Oh, jeez.
I know. It's not legit. Yes. Actually had a discussion with listener Lynn in Canada who was saying that she had just watched Relationship and that she had fallen in love with Shep all over again. And I said, don't we all just fall in love with Shep like every episode?
Yeah.
I feel like I do every time.
Yeah.
You know who I love in a really weird way? Whitney.
Yeah.
Like...
And his mom.
And his mom. I mean, it's...
I love that they all go over to her house and just, like, have tea.
And get advice.
Yeah.
I think, Whitney is... I love Whitney's one-liner sometimes when he's talking about somebody and, he just throws a jab in there in his little diary room stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
I think Whitney's super witty. Yeah. And, I mean... I would never, be able to date somebody or be married to somebody like Whitney, but I love watching him. He's good entertainment.
Oh, we could be buddies and hang out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This season's going to be good because, JD and Elizabeth
I know.
have split. Don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I can tell you that when I lived in Charleston, I had very close work relationship with a gentleman named Lawson who turned out to be a very, very bad man in Charleston, having not paid people, not treated employees right, yada, yada, yada. But I have seen him because he is good buddies with JD on the show.
Oh.
And I wondered from day one, I was like, oh, gosh.
Bad partnership.
Don't be friends. Don't be friends. And they were. I'm not saying that has anything to do with his issues, but, it's JD's restaurant has been boarded up and shut down.
Because he paid the rent, right?
Sir Metz, yes, it's done. He skipped out on the rent and stuff. He's got like his distillery stuff is blowing up like bad stuff. It's just not, he's not paying rent. He's not making money. He didn't pay taxes, something like that. All this. It's ridiculous.
So what is he doing with his time?
Don't really know. But apparently Naomi, whom I'm not a big fan of, but
Naomi.
Whatever. Oh, I do not like Naomi at all. Do not like her. I don't like her. I think it's because I followed her on Instagram.
Oh.
But I quit. Oh. I quit Naomi.
Okay.
Yeah. She calls him out at dinner and says that he's been beeping some 20-year-olds. And that, there was just all this stuff. Yeah. And then Chelsea calls him a con artist and says that he's a con artist. So, of course, you've been able to hide all this from all of us. And so, anyway, it's really juicy. And that's actually going to happen this week. Like
Thomas is like,
I know, Thomas is like,
heat is off of me.
You, JD. Yes, finally.
They've got a new target.
Yep. And Thomas has a new girlfriend.
I saw. I don't know how I feel about her.
Not super sold on her yet. I did start following her on Instagram so that I could see how legit this was. Yeah. And she and Thomas are forever posting stuff on there.
Well, I hear that she responds to people who respond to Thomas on Instagram. I hear that she or on Twitter or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. I haven't
either
seen
one
that much.
So, but people were calling her out like, we were talking to him, we weren't talking to you. Get off the post. And she's like, I can post on whoever's. She's like, I can post on his if I feel like it, and I can say whatever I want to you.
Hey.
So when I was reading those, I was kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see she could probably be like that, but I'm just kind of glad. Like, I'm kind of done with Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I kind of just get a girlfriend.
I'm glad Landon's gone.
I couldn't stand Landon. So I'm kind of like, I'm glad.
I don't really like
just
Catherine either.
No, I don't. I like Cameron. Whatever.
Cameron and Chelsea. Yeah.
I like Chelsea. That's about it of the girls.
The other girl that's there that never talks,
Danny,
she's fine. She's all right.
Whatever, because she's not on the real cast and she just shows up everywhere.
Yeah, Shep, Austin, Chelsea, and Cameron could hang out the whole show, and I'd watch it.
I'd be fine. They could
just take little road trips together.
Go
with
over to Whitney's house.
They go to Whitney's house. Yeah.
So good. Okay. Well, Southern Charm is back. We got to wrap up. I'm going to blaze through a couple others, but just some other ones that I've been watching. Splitting Up Together, which is the new Oliver Hudson show. It's all right. Station 19, which is the spinoff from Grey's Anatomy.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's very Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's actually got the guy that plays
Miranda's husband.
Yes. In the show, because, it's the fire department.
The guy who's the anesthesiologist / surgeon /
correct
firefighter or paramedic.
Yep. Okay. And so now he's on there and he plays the rookie, because he's new to this group and all. But it's
she's
pretty,
like, pick a lane.
Yeah. But it's pretty in tune with Seattle Grace, and there's a little bit of crossover.
Okay.
So anyway, Survivor. Been watching Survivor for my first time since season 2 with Colby.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Haven't watched it, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I might be back on the season Survivor train. I watched The Arrangement on E.
Yeah.
Talk about a big old mind mess, if you will. I watched The Bold Type on Freeform.
Never heard of it.
The Real Housewives of New York City, because they are the only ones that I believe are real housewives. I don't watch any of the other ones. I watch The Real Housewives of New York City. I've seen other ones, let me put it that way. Yeah. But I record New York City.
Potomac are real wives.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all like real wives.
No, I mean, like, they're actually married.
Oh, well, that's unheard of.
Right. I think there's only like one on that show.
I haven't watched any of Potomac. I might need to put that one on there.
Yeah.
I always record The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon because he makes me happy. I record This Is Us, even though now it's on hiatus, sadly.
I've not seen the whole last season.
Shut up.
I've seen episodes because I had to watch them.
Don't talk to me anymore
I know, I'm going to do it.
I record every Watch What Happens live with Andy Cohen because
he's crazy.
He's hilarious. Yeah. The new Will and Grace reboot I've got on there.
Yeah. I'm a few episodes behind on that one.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like they kind of go to the extreme a little bit, but it's fine. I watch them. And then I watched Young and Hungry on Freeform.
You said something about that. I need to watch that.
Just because it's kind of funny and it's an easy little quick sitcom to watch if you're filling up some time.
I feel the same about Superstore. You should give it a try.
Okay.
It is
Superstore.
America Ferrera's on it. And
yes.
The cast is just the ensemble cast. They crack me up every week. Like, I laugh out loud.
Do I have to have watched all the seasons ahead of time?
No.
Okay. Done.
It's just like a nice little sitcom about people who work in a
Sam's Club or something, or is it like a Walmart or a grocery store?
Their store I think is a little smaller. Okay, so you remember on the Good Girls when they went and bought all that stuff for?
Yeah.
They went to Cloud9, and that's the store that these people work at. But
really?
Yeah, but they work in St. Louis on a smaller scale of that store. So it's almost like the one they went to on Good Girls was like a supersized store, like a super Cloud9.
Like a Sam's.
Like a Sam's.
Yes.
And this one is more like a Walmart.
Okay. Well.
But it's funny.
I'll
watch
follow.
one episode and let me know what you think. But
okay.
The characters on there just have some good lines and some funny stuff happening. And they're all just hilarious.
Okay. I will do it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, anything else coming up? I know that was a lot of TV done. But you know what? I feel like we talked about some shows that we never have talked about before.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I guess the next time that you guys hear from us,
we'll have a royal baby.
We will have a baby and we will have a new wife. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So, stay tuned for the official royal update. And watch for us on Facebook as well. Our Chick Chat page, it's really good. So we post some things, but then what's funny is that Jeanette and I usually have little conversations in the comments below. We encourage you to join in the conversation as well. So find us on Facebook at Chick Chat on the Mesh, or you can find out more about our show on themesh.tv and listen to all of our past episodes because we are just that fun to listen to. If you have any questions for us, you can email us at info@themesh.tv. Just put Chick Chat in the line. And you can also call us if you really wanted to leave a voicemail, 828-619-0048. You can find more about The Mesh on Instagram at themesh.tv. Other than that, that's about all I got. Yeah. Said my piece. I can watch more TV now. I love your recommendations. I've had a couple of fun ones lately come through on Facebook. Keep them coming. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And until then, we will see you next time on the British episode of Chick Chat.
Hey.
Catch you later. Bye, Jeanette.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.